जिस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस पर है वो प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस अब कुछ ही पलों में शुरू होने वाली है। विज्ञान भवन में चुनाव आयोग की एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस है जिसमें 16वीं लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए तारीखों का ऐलान किया जाएगा। देश के सभी अखबारों के, टेलीविज़न चैनल्स के, विदेशी मीडिया के तमाम पत्रकार इस प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस में पहुंच चुके हैं और अब से कुछ ही देर में चुनाव की तारीखों का ऐलान होगा। 16वीं लोकसभा चुनाव के लिए ये प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस होने जा रही है। चुनाव की तारीखों के लिए 7 से 8 चरणों में चुनाव हो सकते हैं। ये भी कहा जा रहा है कि इस बार संभव है कि मतदान का समय कुछ बढ़ाया जाए। पहले जो समय 10 घंटे होता था वो समय अब सुबह 6 बजे से शाम 6 बजे तक रखा जाए। पहले समय कम होता था, 5 बजे वोटिंग खत्म हो जाती थी। इस बार उम्मीद की जा रही है कि मतदान का समय बढ़ाया जाए। उसकी वजह ये भी मानी जा रही है कि मतदाताओं में एक जागरूकता बढ़ी है। मतदाता, आपको याद होगा कि एक वक्त था कि 54% से लेकर के 55%, 56% से ज़्यादा मतदान नहीं हो पाता था, लेकिन अब कई चुनाव ऐसे देखे गए जिसमें मतदान 70%, 75% और कुछ चुनाव में तो 80% तक मतदान देखा गया है। लोगों में जागरूकता बढ़ी है। इस बार युवा वोटर, बहुत भारी संख्या में युवा वोटर है। युवा वोटर ने ही दिल्ली में एक तरह से कहें अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार को बहाल किया या अरविंद केजरीवाल की सरकार बनी। युवाओं में बहुत जोश है। युवा मतदाता अपने अधिकारों को लेकर के बहुत जागरूक हुआ है और उस युवा मतदाता के 2 व्यक्ति खास तौर पर प्रतीक बने, एक अरविंद केजरीवाल और दूसरे नरेंद्र मोदी। युवा जिन टूल्स को, जिन चीज़ों को युवा इस्तेमाल करते हैं उसको बहुत प्रचलन में दोनों ने लेकर के आए, चाहे वो अरविंद केजरीवाल हों या नरेंद्र मोदी। दोनों लोग ट्विटर पे बहुत सक्रिय हैं, ट्विटर पे अपनी बात कहते हैं। सतीश, नरेंद्र मोदी की अगर हम बात करें तो नरेंद्र मोदी जहां भी जाते हैं अपनी पिक्चर ट्वीट करते हैं, अपना स्टेटस ट्वीट करते हैं। जैसे अभी मैं देख रहा था कि उन्होंने ट्वीट किया कि चाय पे चर्चा, उनकी अगला कार्यक्रम 8 मार्च को अंतर्राष्ट्रीय महिला दिवस पर महिलाओं के साथ वो चाय पे चर्चा करने वाले हैं। अपने हर कार्यक्रम की जानकारी नरेंद्र मोदी ट्विटर के जरिए लोगों तक पहुंचाते हैं।
अच्छी बात है। मैं कि अगर टेक्नोलॉजी के ज़माने में और ख़ास तौर से युवा जिसको ट्विटर जनरेशन या फेसबुक जनरेशन कहते हैं, उनके साथ जुड़ने की एक कवायद है मार्केटिंग की दृष्टि से भी, तो ये अच्छी बात है और तमाम नेता इसमें आजकल जुड़ ही रहे हैं। मैं तो कहता हूं कि जो अरविंद केजरीवाल जो हैं वो दिल्ली में झाड़ू से ज़्यादा वो ट्विटर की पैदाइश हैं, फेसबुक की पैदाइश हैं। और लेकिन उसमें ये देखिए कि सोसाइटी में ही आपकी जो है ना सोशल नेटवर्किंग साइट है।
संपत साहब आ चुके हैं, मुख्य चुनाव आयुक्त संपत साहब को आप देख रहे हैं अपने टेलीविजन स्क्रीन पर। और अब आप इनको सुनिए, हमें सुनना इस वक्त व्यर्थ होगा।
कम नहीं आ रहा। अरे भाई इतना फोटो ले रहे आप लोग। हो गया भाई, थैंक यू। ओके, थैंक यू, थैंक यू। So, shall we start? My colleague commissioners, Sri Brahma and Dr. Sejdi, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome you all for this press conference. We have great pleasure in announcing the commencement of the process for general elections to the 16th Lok Sabha, which is yet another milestone in the history of Indian democracy. As you all know, the term of the 15th Lok Sabha is due to end on 31st May 2014. The terms of 3 state assemblies, namely Andhra Pradesh, Odisha and Sikkim, also come to an end on 2nd June,
7th June and 21st May respectively. Under the Constitution and Representation of the People's Act, the Election Commission is mandated to complete the election process to constitute the 16th Lok Sabha before 31st May 2014, and similar action needs to be initiated for completing the elections for the 3 state assemblies before the respective dates of expiry. Yes? Mobile? No? No mobile? Yeah, okay. The credible elections conducted at regular prescribed intervals are the very soul and hallmark of any democratic system. As part of the consultative process preparatory to general elections 2014, the Commission has held series of preparatory meetings, starting with meeting with representatives of recognized national and state political parties on 4th February. During the meeting, while extending cooperation in conduct of free and fair polls, the parties raised and brought to our notice a wide range of issues relating to security, revising the ceiling of election expenditure by candidates, necessity to keep the various festivals and seasonal conditions in different parts of the country in view while arriving at the schedules. Quite a few participants were also highlighting the importance and need for holding elections in phased manner in certain critical states. This was followed up by meeting with Chief Secretaries, Directors General of Police, Home Secretaries, Chief Electoral Officers of all the states and union territories. We had further meetings with Home Secretary, Chairman of Railway Board, Secretary Telecommunication to seek their assistance and in tying up with regard to relevant areas of election management. Now coming to the actual process of scheduling, you all know very well some of the major factors kept in view for scheduling. One, examination schedules, particularly for state boards and central board. You all know a very large majority of our polling stations are located in educational premises, and large part of polling staff are also drawn from that category. Weather plays a very important role. We are faced with the issue of early monsoon in certain parts of the country and late setting in of hot summer in certain parts of the country. We have to keep this also in view while deciding on entry date and exit date for the elections. Some of the states have though the coming period is not exactly crop season for the entire country, but in certain parts of the country, harvesting is a major factor which has to be kept in view. Keeping all this in view, we have drawn up our schedule, which we will be sharing with you shortly. One of the prime requisites in preparation for general elections is availability of up-to-date electoral roll. Rolls have been revised with 1st January 2014 as qualifying date, and final rolls have been published in all the states. Total electorate as of now for general election 2014 is approximately 814 million, that is 81.4 crores, which is about 10 crores more than the last parliament election. You have to compare this with the electorate of 176 million for the first general election conducted for the country in 1952. As against that, the increase itself this time is 100 million over the last general election. However, there would always be complaints about certain people not finding their names in the electoral rolls. All kinds of complaints like we voted in all the previous elections, now our names are not in the roll, we have got EPIC but we are not allowed to vote, things like that. Keeping in view this kind of a predicament, we have decided to afford one more opportunity for enrollment. The Commission has directed that special camps shall be organized in all the polling stations in the country in over 9 lakh premises, where the booth level officer will be available with a copy of the electoral roll displayed on the notice board with requisite number of Form 6, that is the application form, etc., with the BLO. We appeal through you to such of those who want to confirm the presence of their names in the electoral rolls to avail of this opportunity just before the general election, so that if any names are missing, if any people still want to get enrolled, they can file the application on that day, and we have given instructions to the election staff that all such applications shall be disposed of well in time to enable such voters to participate in the forthcoming general election. 9th March, Sunday, is the date which we have set apart. This is the day when in the entire country, in all the polling stations, booth level officers will be sitting along with the electoral roll and application forms for such people who seek enrollment at this stage. Photo electoral rolls and EPIC, these have become some of the special features of Indian elections which have helped streamline the identification process during the poll. The country had gone to polls with photo electoral rolls for the first time in 2009. At that time, the percentage of photos on the rolls was 82, while today it has reached 90. 8.64%. So similarly, EPIC distribution, which was 82% last time, has already reached 96%. We hope it will also reach 98 to 99%, same as photo electoral rolls before the polls. Polling stations. As you know, our election poll is taken polling station wise. We have approximately 9,30,000 polling stations in the country, which is 12% more than number of polling stations in last election, that was 8.30 lakh polling stations. Over a period of time, Commission has been laying emphasis on provision of basic minimum facilities at polling stations. We have issued instructions to election staff and also followed it up in meetings with chief secretaries for equipping polling stations with basic necessary facilities like drinking water, shed, this is required because of hot summer season, toilets, ramp for the physically challenged persons, and standard voting compartments in every polling station. As has been the case during 2004 and 2009, 2014 Lok Sabha polls also shall be held with electronic voting machines. You all know about the introduction of Nota facility in the voting machines. This was introduced during the last 5 state elections pursuant to the order of the Honorable Supreme Court. Nota facility shall be provided in general election 2014 also, and appropriate instructions will be issued. You also know the soul in election management of Election Commission of India is the observance and enforcement of Model Code of Conduct. With our announcement of the schedule today, Model Code of Conduct shall come into force with immediate effect. We have devoted considerable time on law and order and creating secure environment for the conduct of fair, free and peaceful polls. Among the various measures to ensure free and fair elections, we have taken particular care to ensure that people living in vulnerable locations, vulnerable sections of voters, they are enabled to be in continuous touch with election machinery so that adequate protection is given to them to ensure that they are enabled to vote free of obstruction, uninfluenced, unintimidated by anyone. We have asked the magistracy as well as the police machinery to maintain law and order and also to invoke the preventive provisions available in the law to ensure that all protection is given to the voters, particularly in vulnerable habitations. The Commission has been using the services of observers extensively to keep a close watch over ground situation and to take prompt remedial action when complaints are received from different parts of the country.